Okay, you guys, good morning. Brenda Hillard here at Create with Brenda. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. If this is your first time joining me, I am in, what would we call it, North Central Minnesota. So anyway, welcome. I'm excited that you're here. Lots of stuff happening at Stampin' Up! And Create with Brenda right now. So I'm glad you're here and I can tell you a little bit about it. Plus, we get to make a really fun card today too. So it looks like we have one person on. I'm just going to give us a few minutes here. And if there's anybody else joining us, otherwise we'll get started. So while we're waiting, I am going to just put my monthly host code up on. I think I am anyway. Yeah. I'm going to put my monthly host code right up top up here. And this month, when you order with me and your product order is $50 or more, you will receive not only a handmade thank you from me, everybody receives a handmade thank you, but I'm going to be sending out a pack of the resin stars from Hey Sportsman. Being we're in the opening of baseball season, I thought how appropriate that we'll use some of the Hey Sportsman embellishments for our host gift this morning. So obviously I have not had enough coffee. I love this. I have my Beatles love mug. My husband and I several years ago went out to Las Vegas to see the show at the Mirage and it was amazing. Cirque did the performance and it was just really fun. Okay, we're gonna get started. We still only have one on. Hopefully we'll have some more people joining us here, but let's go down to the workstation, okay? All right. Get this out of the way. Excellent. I'm going to pop my monthly host code up there at the top. And good morning, Kathy. Here they come. Happy Saturday. My lighting looks a little weird. I'm not sure why. Let's shut this off and see if that helps. Looks kind of orangey yellow or something. Oh, look, that helped a lot. All right. So today, I have chose to use for my project the Pansy Petals, and that, my friends, will be going away when the it's on the last chance sale. So check it out, see if it's still available. It's beautiful, it's springy. And what else am I using? I'm going to be using the Celebrating You stamp set. How good is this stamp set, right? Look at all the stuff in there. Happy birthday, happy Father's Day, happy Mother's Day, welcome little one, happy Easter. There's just all kinds of great sentiments. Anniversaries, weddings. I love it. The other set that's going to be going away is the Happy and Heartfelt. This is one of my favorite sentiment sets just because of the font itself. But today I thought we have to celebrate this. The other thing that we'll be using that's retiring is the Sweet Strawberry Bundle. I'm sad, and it has the coordinating punch. So, but we're going to be using this today in our project. Nothing out of the stamp set, but I do have, we are going to use the punch. God, I feel like I don't have my words today. And then we have the tailor-made tag dies that we're going to be using. We'll use the largest die from this set. And then you'll see that I used the little reinforcement circles. So what else? I think that's it. My ink colors today are going to be, of course, our Memento Tuxedo Black ink. I'm going to be using the In Color Polish Pink. And this is a carryover color. not one of the retiring. And Gorgeous Grape. So Polished Pink, Gorgeous Grape, Memento Black ink. And like I said in the description, good morning, Donna. We are going to make a little pocket card. And so let's get started. The pieces that I have is a scrap of Calypso Coral, and you can see that I die cut those little reinforcement circles out of there. I have a scrap piece of white for the tag, a scrap piece of fresh freesia for punching, a scrap of basic white for punching, and then I have a piece of the designer series paper, the Pansy Petals, and that measures 2 inches by 3.5. I have a piece of Calypso Coral that measures 4.25 by 5 inches. Another piece of the Pansy Petals that measures 4 by 5.25, and that's just the reverse side of this piece. And then I have a piece of fresh freesia that measures 4.25 by 5.5. And then our basic white envelope, and I added a piece of designer series paper to that as well. This paper, when you start out, it measures 2.5 by 6, and then you just glue it onto the flap of your envelope and then trim around the flap. So you always get the pretty envelope, right? All right, so I say, let's start assembling. I'm going to take my base, and I'm going to take my 4 by 5.25 inch piece of designer series paper. I think people are sleeping in today. Where is everybody? You guys be sure to share. Be sure to share me on Facebook so that that helps increase our viewers every Saturday. All right, I'm going to center this on this piece of cardstock. And this is not a folded card base. It's just a flat card base, okay? We have that. And let's do a little bit of stamping. I'm going to bring in the Gorgeous Grape, and I'm going to be using the Happy Easter stamp. And again, that came from the Celebrating You. This did carry over to the new annual catalog, so I'm very happy about that, because wait till you see. So there's like the scripty font and then the printed font, and I just think that is so cute. All right, so now I'm going to bring in our double oval punch. So with this, you get a scalloped and you get a smooth edge. And is what I'm going to do first is just punch out. I like to stamp first because then I can center my greeting in the oval. So I'm going to punch. And then with our scrap of, wherever it went, right here in front of me, fresh freesia, I'm just going to punch the scalloped oval. Like I said, today we're just hopping right into punch art. So again, that's the double oval, and that did carry over as well. So that's a good thing. On this one, I want to add a couple dimensionals to the back. And I'm just going to pop that up onto the scalloped oval. So there's that. And then I'm going to bring in, we've got all kinds of tools today, I'm telling you. I'm going to bring in our die cutting machine, the Mighty Mini. And I'm going to put in our platform number 1, cutting plate number 2, well-loved cutting plate number 2, and our scrap of the white. Just have to trim it down a little bit. It was a little too wide to fit in, but there we go. We have it now. And I'm going to be using that tag from the tailor-made tag dies. If you don't have tag dies, you know you can always just cut a piece of cardstock too to make it look like a tag. But these tag dies are pretty awesome. I'll show you here in just a minute. I'm going to roll it through. And voila, we have a beautiful stitched tag. How fun is that? Right. And then earlier, I guess when I was designing the original card, I had already die cut, show you the piece here. I had already die cut this piece. And it cuts out 4 of them. So I have 4 of the little reinforcers, so I didn't need to cut any more. You guys, did you know that they have those little punch out, clean out holes in the back? And that just helps take the stuff out. As you can see, I'm not always very good about doing that because my brain is usually whirling with a design in mind and not cleaning out my dies. But your little pokey tool on your take your pick works really well for getting into those little holes on the backs of your dies. All right, I'm just going to stick that in there. So now we have our tag. I'm going to put that right there. And let's bring this piece in. This is the only little tricky part to this card. Hi, Joyce. Good morning. I'm going to bring in my trimmer. And you guys, the card I'm doing today is an Easter card, but this works really well for really anything. And especially if you want to attach, or you want to put some money or whatever in this little pocket. So the piece that I have here measures 5 inches by 4 1/4. Okay. And I have to think about this for a minute. Give me just a second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it this way. So the 5 is at the top. And I'm going to score it at 2 1/4. So I'm going to put my cutting tool up here. I want to score at 2 1/4 and 4 1/2. And then I'm just going to turn it. So now the 4 1/4 inch is at the top, and I'm going to score it at the 1/2 inch mark. Okay. So there we have that. Oh, I'm getting a pile up of tools over here, but that's okay. All right. So now is what I'm going to do, and I think you'll be able to see this okay, but I am going to cut off this little square, and I'm going to miter that edge at the same time. So just taking a little wedge there and taking a little wedge here. So your corner will look like this, okay? Then I'm going to do a little wedge here. And what we're doing now is we're forming the pocket. So now I'm just going to cut on my score line. Remove that whole piece. So you'll be getting rid of this piece, and you'll be getting rid of that little square down here on the corner and mitering, okay? Right. Remember, if you're going to try this and you're like, what is it that she did? You can always go back and replay. Good morning, Karen. Happy to see you this morning. Hope you got my message about the swap. All right, so now is what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to add some tear and tape. And if you don't know what tear and tape is, it's awesome. It works really well for projects like this where you have um, like moving parts and you need it to be a good solid adhesive. And this is double-sided, so now we're just going to pick, if you burnish first, and then try to pick up that wax paper backing because it's two-sided tape. So let's pick that up. There we go. I'm going to fold these over now, and then I'm going to fold. So now we've formed this little pocket, okay? All right. So now I'm going to take my piece of designer series paper that measures 2 inches by 3.5, and I'm just going to add that to the front of my pocket. I do have to tell you, I always try to use current products. Try not to use retired products, but I am going to be using a little retired product today, and I think we may have all saved these. But I'm using the 3/4 inch circle punch, and like I said, it is retired. But is what I'm going to do is put all 3 layers in there. I want to fill in not quite half of the circle, maybe like a third, and then I'm going to punch. Did you see that go flying? All right. So there we have that. And let's bring in our card front. And remember, this isn't a full card. This is just flat, right? I didn't want a full card because I felt like it would get too bulky. Here I'm going to go again with the tear and tape. And I'm actually going to put 3 strips on because I want to make sure that this stays in place. Okay, again, we'll burnish and then separate the layers to take off our backing. All right, so I want to center that on my card, and because I used this gingham paper, it makes it really easy to get my pocket on my card straight. And then I want to bring in our little Easter sentiment that we did, and I'm going to add some stamp and seal to the back. I'm just going to put that right here. Isn't it great? Springy colors. Do you love them? I do. All right. Remember I told you I had the extra little reinforcers from when I cut earlier for my sample? So what I'm going to do is just take a small dab of the liquid glue. And you really don't need much. I mean, this is a really tiny piece. And it does get reinforced with the ribbon. So I'm just going to add that little circle. And let's stamp on this before we go any further, just in case we have to make another one here. Thanks, Kathy. I really like this card too. And especially if you have littles that you want to send something to for Easter, it's perfect. So I'm going to do, we have to celebrate this. Isn't that font just the cutest? Love it, love it, love it. All right. One thing I forgot to tell you is the tag die is just a little bit long for our pocket. I'll show you. So this slides in like this. And see how it sticks out? Kind of far, right? So all I'm going to do is just trim the end off from the tag. And now, maybe just a little more. This is where I get into trouble. And then all of a sudden I have to make a new tag because I've trimmed too much. All right, that's just how I want it so that this is centered in there. So maybe I took a little more than 1/4 of an inch, maybe like 3/8 inch off from that tag. All right, let's bring in, this is our fresh freesia ribbon. Here we are, you guys. Look at color coordination. So good. Only at Stampin' Up, I'm telling you what. I'm going to cut this. And this part is a little bit tricky, but I found if you just take your corner at the fold, you can usually pull it up through. I'm just going to grab my reverse tweezer here and poke it. There. All right. So now I threaded that up through the loop, and I'm just going to put these 2 ends through my loop and pull. Now I get this little tail or little pull so that they can pull out the sentiment. Now remember, I'm doing Easter, but this can really get used for any. It would be fun for a baby shower. It would be fun for end of the school year to put little treats in. Well, I always like doing like a Dairy Queen gift card. So I always feel like kids deserve a treat at the end of the school year, don't you? All right, so there's our little tag. Now wait, I have something so good to show you with this. And this is not my forte. Any of you that know me know that I am a stamper for a reason, because whoa, they want my trimmer. Because my coloring skills, well, let's just say they leave a lot to be desired. Okay? So let me pick up the carnage here. So is what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Ladybug Builder punch. And ever since I got this punch, it was like, those look like bunny ears to me. In fact, I said that to my teammate, Sandy, and she made a really cute bunny out of her punch. So all I did was punch the wings, because those are going to be our bunny ears, okay? And then we're going to bring in this strawberry punch. And this strawberry is like the perfect shape for a bunny head, right? Got nothing but bunnies going on down here. All right. And if you wanted to, see how your mind works when you're putting stuff together. Now I just had another idea for a card, but all right. So I'm going to bring in the polished pink, and I'm going to use a Q-tip. I initially started out with a sponge dauber, and it got like too big and too much. So I'm just going to add some ink to a Q-tip, rub it off on my silicone mat, and now I'm going to give those ears just a little bit of color. And that it might even be more color than I want. So I'm going to flip it over. Remember, I told you I am not the coloring queen for sure. Add some color. If you guys try this, I want to see your bunnies, okay? So there's some more color on the other ear. And then I want to give it just a little bit for some rosy cheek. And I took a fine tip Sharpie, and I'm going to just color in a little nose. And then I'm going to flick. Well, sure I am. And give it some whiskers. Hi, Jessica. Welcome to Coffee and Create with Brenda. I'm going to give some little eyeballs. So that's going to be my bunny. I'm going to take the ears, add some stamp and seal to the back, and then I want to just put those right up here underneath the pocket. Oh my gosh, you guys, I colored my bunny face the wrong way. You see that? It's oblong. It's supposed to go this way. All right, let's do it again. It didn't take that long. It wasn't that hard, right? All right. Oops, wrong punch. Geez, now I'm all flustered. All right. I'm gonna punch. And now let's keep our bunny face the right way. Did you guys see that it was the wrong way? And just let me continue on my merry way, right? Okay, so now you want this small part from the strawberry pointing up. Yay. I'm going to give him this little rosy, her little rosy cheeks. Good enough. Try again with my little nose. Oh my gosh, that's funny. I had a lopsided headed bunny. All right. Flick. Few whiskers. Okay. Oh, to give it eyes. There we go. And now I can just add, come on in, you guys, I'm still live, so give me just a minute. I'm going to pop them up there on the corner. And there's our bunny. There's our tag. And that's our card for today. All right, you guys, thank you for joining me. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next Saturday. Bye-bye.